So then how did you transition from doing all the online stuff into then actually like living here permanently? Because I assume you had to figure out a way, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the biggest questions. Everyone wants to know, like, how do you live in Japan?
Because we get it all the time as well.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, let's. It's a difficult thing because there's so many people. I'm sure you've had the same experience. Like people who are living here, it's like, how are you living here? Like you don't. You think like, do you have to do something to
It's like,
be?
what do you do?
I have met some people where I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's like what visa do you have? How have you coined? How have you gamed the system in your own way, right?
And it's sort of like you're not supposed to ask that question. Like what visa you're on? How are you here? Like because I mean, look, some people just they're lucky. Like, oh, my father is Japanese, I got a visa. Or, Or like I'm not lucky. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, or like for some reason they're here. So the way I did it was so originally working holiday visa, and then when that started to run out, I thought, okay, I need to do something. And I had a friend who lived up in Sendai, who was a French guy, and he was actually running a French magazine. He was running the magazine as the editor from Japan.
Oh, okay.
So he was just getting all this content from Japan, just editing it. Yeah, and he was on a journalist visa.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I thought, he said, oh, you should do the journalist visa. It's very easy. So, sorry, JC, that's a bad presentation of you. But so I thought, okay, maybe I can do this. So I applied for everything. Now, remember when the earthquake happened? Oh, you weren't here when the earthquake happened. The earthquake?
2011.
Yeah. The earthquake happened.
Right.
And I'd already sort of renewed once, and it worked. And I thought, okay, I don't know if I can do this again. It was kind of easy the first time because I managed to get like a contract from a magazine.
Right.
And I don't know if it would work these days or not, but I had proof that I'd been doing that job for a long time. And the best thing about being a journalist is you don't need any sort of
like qualification.
Yeah, you don't. All you need is like, I've done this for a long time.
I'm gonna keep doing
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. These guys are gonna pay me to do it. Okay, so I sort of convinced a magazine to give me a contract. Like, look, you want this content? Give me a contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I got that. I showed it to him. Then again, that whole earthquake thing happened. And this was like literally at the same time I was meant to renew. I thought, oh no, what if they cancel me or...
Right.
So I mean, look, everyone, I don't know about you guys.
It's in like a panic state, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's all...
What was that like?
Okay. When it wasn't bad for me because all I did was just sort of sit at home for like a month and just do nothing. I just thought, look, I'm just going to stay the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Until I need to do something. Actually, I did go and help a friend who was at Ebisu, who had a lot of trouble with stuff falling down the hill, like it collapsed. And anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought, okay, I don't want to leave. If I leave now, probably not going to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of, the whole, you ever heard fly-gin? You heard that term? Like,
No.
Yeah, it was like, so foreigners who left Japan when the earthquake happened, it was like, I'm out. Let me
Is that a real thing? A lot of foreigners left?
yeah, well, okay. It was kind of a derogatory thing. It's like, yeah, you left. It's like, I honestly don't blame people who did that because it was
that bad?
Understandable. Have a nice
I
day.
see footage of it, but it's so hard to like actually get a sense of it because even the small earthquakes here kind of like throw me off sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what an earthquake of that magnitude could do.
I don't know if I don't think people can quote me on this, but wasn't it like one of the most like financially it was one of the most like devastating earthquakes / tsunamis of like all time or something?
Well, probably the deadliest.
Yeah,
not the deadliest. Sorry, not the deadliest.
The one that
but
did the most damage.
It was I think it like caused the most damage like financially. It
it
really
caused a lot of problems. Like
really fucked up the Japanese economy.
Depending on how severe I hear it was, is depending on who I ask and where they were at the time.
Yeah.
Because some people said like, I've been told this, like, it wasn't that bad. Things just started falling.
No, it was bad.
Other people but like, so that's what I'm saying, right? It depends on who you ask and where they were at the time.
Right.
Because obviously if someone experienced it and it wasn't bad for them, they probably think like,
I mean, it was on like
was on-
every
yeah,
country
I know,
you
but
were on
It,
news.
like it was, it was fucking worldwide
no,
news.
I know. I'm not saying it's not. What I'm asking
Yeah.
is like, how is it for like you? Because everyone I've seemed to ask so far has such a different explanation of how
me,
it was for them.
Personally, I mean, when it actually happened, I was I was just doing some washing at the time. It was like because it's like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm going to take it down to the laundromat and get the dryer going, and something I was going to hang up as well, and the windows started rattling. I'm like, oh, it's windy. Good. I can get my
Probably fucking wash these.
I can hang my sheets out and get them to dry. And then all of a sudden, everything started. I was on the second floor of a house that I used to live in out in Saitama, and it started to move. I'm like, oh, earthquake. Okay. What do I do? Okay, stand in the. So I stood in the door frame.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do. I guess.
I think that's what you're supposed to do.
And it started to. It's just doing this, and I'm like, okay, this is bad. Wait, I'm supposed to be a media guy. Where's my camera? So I grabbed my bloggy again.
Yeah.
And I caught the last like 20 seconds of it on video, and like I aimed out the window. All the lines are the power lines are doing this, and is rattling, and it's just crazy. And I remember it like that too. And then it's just kind of stopped, and there was a guy doing a delivery, like a Kuroneko guy over the road, and he just kept doing this stamp it, here you go. And I'm like,
like nothing happened.
is anything gonna happen? And I'm looking at, there's no smoke rising. It's okay, it should be okay. And so I put my stuff in my laundry in the thing, went down to the laundromat, and I'm in there, just sitting there waiting for it to dry. I was like, okay, I'll go shopping maybe in a minute. And these kids walk past the window outside wearing those hats, you know, the foam borsei
like
zucchini.
Yeah,
hat.
it's like this like kind of
It's like a triangular.
It's like a bandana looking thing that they wear, and it's supposed to be fireproof.
Yeah,
And
Right.
like kids, like elementary school kids, wear it to like kind of protect themselves.
it's like a
during
Red Riding
earthquakes.
hood, but it's
Yeah.
like thick foam with like made of
Yeah.
reflective, like an old fireman's hat sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Oh my god, yeah, in the UK, they're like fucking get on with it. What are you doing?
Well,
I mean, there's nothing that happens in the UK that's big enough to be
Yeah.
worried about,
They
right?
all walk past the window. I'm like, what the hell are these? Oh, they're wearing those things. Okay. And then in the laundromat, there's TV. Sometimes there's a TV.
Yeah.
Right.
And I look up, and there's the big black wall of death just eating towns.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Wow.
oh shit! I better go and buy some food or something. So I went to the supermarket and just bought a bunch of food. And I thought, okay, and a slab of beer. I thought,
Might be a long night.
well, I thought, fuck, I'd be stuck at home. And so it was okay for me. Like the worst thing for doing car content was there was no fuel.
Yeah.
They just all the fuel got cut off. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay. And what I actually did that month was I had enough of an internet presence then to say, because I had a regular column in a Japanese magazine actually. And I said, hey everyone, send me a picture of your foreign drift car. And I got people to make my content for me.
Yeah,
at
right,
that
right.
point. But
You're a pro YouTuber.
yeah.
God damn.
But up in Tohoku, like up where, especially
Right,
where
right,
Ebisu
right, it was
is,
the epicenter as well.
I had to go up there to help a friend just.
So
recover
you weren't
Right.
in Sendai when it actually happened. Like,
No, I wasn't up there.
Yeah,
no, but
because my grandma lives in Sendai, so
really?
she like
Yeah, well, because what I've heard is that from people who were in Sendai near the epicenter, it was awful.
Yeah.
But then I've heard a lot of people in Tokyo who were like, yeah, things were shaking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, for my grandma, it was kind of like half because like she lives on like quite a big like apartment place, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think she was on like the 13th or 14th floor or something. And like obviously, the higher up on the building you are, right, the
more
more
it's
it's gonna shake.
As
But,
we
so the
found out.
shaking was
Yeah.
bad, but like you know, it didn't break anything. Like she didn't get injured or whatever. But then she did tell me that like it was really scary that after the rattling kind of stopped. And she picked herself back up and looked out the window. She could actually see the tsunami coming over the horizon.
Oh my god.
And then she was like, "Oh shit!" And so she turned the TV on, and then you know that really famous like footage right of the
Yeah.
black wall was just
Wait, what is the black wall?
it's
well, I just made I just made that up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's the tsunami was just like a big churning dark mess of water
It wasn't
and
like this
debris.
like one big wave
Yeah.
that most people think it is. It was kind of just this rush of water that just
Coming in.
swept
Because
over
of like
everything.
because it was just taking all the debris with it, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like it just turned into a black wall of like destruction
Oh, wow.
because it wasn't like it was hardly water anymore because
Yeah.
it was just like all the gunk that it would have hit it
And
taken
just
up
all
with
the
it.
houses that were along the coast were just getting crushed as,
Yeah.
as this thing came over, and it was horrible.
Meanwhile, international people were like, but my anime,
Yeah.
Because I remember like Pokemon got delayed or something.
Madoka
Yeah.
got delayed.
And people were like
Yeah.
losing. They're like, I can't believe this is stopping the anime. And it's like,
It's like it's like fuck you.
I mean, they did. You know, trains were cancelled for a while, and they had rolling blackouts.
Yeah.
Right,
Actually, luckily, because the grid that I was on at my house was the same grid as a big hospital and a Japanese military base, so we never got a cut.
Right.
But here's the thing. So what I was saying before was I had to renew my visa. And at that point, you had to get a re-entry visa to come back into the country.
Right.
Which meant you have to go to the visa center, get like a $20 stamp in your thing, in your passport. So if you leave the country, you can come back. And everyone's leaving because it's like, well, there's radiation landing on Tokyo. Yeah, I mean, understandably.
Yeah.
So, and I was just, I thought, okay, fine. But I was like trying to renew my thing at the same time. So I went to the visa center at like 3 in the afternoon, which is a bad idea. I drove there out in Saitama.
Right.
And the queue was about 300 meters long of people. I thought,
What is
okay.
this, Anime Expo?
I thought, okay, here's what I have to do. Okay, I have to come back tomorrow morning before the first train.
Yeah.
So my car, because my car ran on premium fuel, this is a drift car.
Right.
No fuel.
I like it to mention
But there's-
Just reminding you, I'm a drift
It was a drift car.
Okay, so I begged my friend, like, please lend me your little K car, your little small compact car, so I can drive it
Right.
there before the first train, so I can get in line. Get there. There's already about maybe 50 meters of people lined up.
Oh my God.
I didn't get in the front door until I lined up at like maybe 4:30 in the morning. Didn't
Right.
get there in the front door until 2 in the afternoon, and then as soon as I got in the front door, everyone's going to the left. I go to the right to renew.
Right.
And I walk up. There's no one at the counter because they're all busy over here. I'm like,
Right.
and someone walks past like, what do you want? I'm like, oh, I want to renew. And they're like, oh, okay. They just take it. They sort of just flick through and like, you got your tax thing in there. It's like, oh, I forgot that. It's like, oh, don't worry about it.
They just couldn't be bothered.
They couldn't be
right?
bothered.
Yeah.
And I got the renewal. It was great. It was,
God
but,
damn.
And then just as I went back, I was like, oh, that's over. Thank God for that. I can go home. Went to the car park to get my. It was a coin parking with the
Yeah.
little gates.
Right.
So get in the car, go to drive out, and go to the gate. Put my money in the machine. All I had was $100, like a 10,000 yen, like a $100
Yeah.
bill. You can put them in the machines here. Put it in the machine. The gates open. It's like, where's my change? 4 o'clock. Scheduled blackout.
Oh, no.
So the machine ate my $100 bill. I'm like, oh no, yeah. Like I look around, like all the lights are blanked out.
Yeah,
and people
right.
are coming out of the bank because it just got blacked out. I'm like, oh no. So anyway, I called up, and this being Japan, there was a very lovely girl, and she's like, you know, answering the phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so the machine ate my $100. She's like, oh, don't worry, okyak-sama, we'll make sure it's okay, and we'll send
Yeah.
you the money. We'll get you information of your bank. Sure enough, like a week later, they did it. So
I mean, Japan's the one country where you probably wouldn't mind a machine eating your money.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
you're getting that back.
didn't get it
Yeah,
back.
you're getting it back. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was a thing. So since then, but now I'm married with kids, and I'm an adult now. So
Gosh, terrifying.
Proper adult. What's
A
that?
real
What's that
adult.
like?
yeah.